former teammate of mine,
Gentili,
and we played in the undefeated 1954-55 championship team. And we had fun during that basketball season as well as the previous games, and we're just absolutely delighted to be back to this opportunity, and we think it's a great opportunity for basketball to be renewed in the area and also to visit with former teammates.
For an example, this is the first I've seen Jay since just about after graduation, I think.
Right.
The one thing that I always remember with Jay and I was that year in 1955 they gave 2 sportsman awards away because I got one and he got one, but it was very fair. They did it that way rather than just give one out like they normally did. But Jay was the one that really deserved it because he was more dedicated than I ever thought it'd be. And it's just a pleasure to be part of Jay's life, and thanks for letting us have a little interview with you.
Well, again, it's a joy to be here and renew some old friendships and remember some good times playing basketball for then Lycans High.
Yeah. Okay. He said we were playing up at Williamstown in football, and he says it's documented that he threw the longest touchdown pass in the history of the distance-wise to this guy, but the guy missed it, and he said, me. All right. That's cute. Yeah, that's good. Yes, and boy, look at the one I always remembered was a guy, Shep Schaefer, from Millersburg.
Wait a minute, honey.
Shep Schaefer was playing for Millersburg, and we were ahead. I think it was 7-6, and there was only a few seconds left to go, and they were on their own 20-yard line, and it looked like we had the game won. All of a sudden, he broke off tackle. And he took off, and he was like a gazelle, which he's the fastest man in the whole valley, and I'm the slowest man in the valley, and I'm gaining on him. I'm saying, look at me today. Am I really going? I'm going to catch him. Well, what it was all the time, he was slowing down, and he got to the 5-yard line, and he fell over, and nobody was even around him. They lost the game 7-6, but I knew there was something wrong when I was gaining on him.
All right. That was fun. You have an orange tag on, right?
The only one with an orange.
Dar's the only one with the orange tag. All right. Yep.
65.
65. That's a 65. Big year that year, for sure. Yeah.
By the shirt.
I got this is shirt of the arm.
Or this.
I just grabbed it. Anyway, we're down. It's right after we kicked off, and we're down at Susquehanna playing a game. And I don't know what's going on tonight. Raymond. And all he used to take care of.
We always put your 65 stuff in our program every year. I don't know if you know, we put a book on every year.
That's really nice.
We just saw our trophies out there. That's the first time I've seen them since 65. Yeah. I didn't even know where they were.
I didn't either. First I saw them.
The crew donated. We made a little donation for the club. For these guys. Yeah. Just $100, but help them to play it.
This is really neat.
It's really nice.
About 2 half barrels.
I don't. You don't look like you drink a lot of that.
Don't they want it to club?
I'm glad to see you here, Rain. You didn't know if you'd be here or not. I live in Easy. That's right.
Grubby. They said Grubby might not.
His mom is in.
Grubby called. He said he wanted to try to get here.
I heard that he might not.
He was really emotional.
I didn't get a chance to look at it, but I gave my wife the whole
talking about his 2 tours of duty and a couple other things. I left some stuff out in the park. That's really neat. Some pictures of you guys during the game.
His mom is in the hospital.
1 year going up in the air for the last playing out. John's like this.
I guess
about 4 times.
Well, maybe we can get together. There's Al. Al Bowman.
Hey, how you doing, buddy? It's nice seeing you.
I haven't seen you in 40 years.
How you doing, Al? How you been?
Good seeing you, Al.
I think it has been.
How you doing, Raymond? How you doing?
name tag.
I did.
I didn't either.
Where are you at? Are you in this? Are you really?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, I moved back home.
What's that?
Did you?
92.
Good?
Where were you at? Because probably so
I retired from the Army and lived out on Ventura for 5 years. I moved back home.
Yeah. So you're in Lycans?
No, I lived in Lycans for 2 years.
Did you?
I
Yeah.
got back to Illinois.
Was it? Did you really?
Moved down here.
Oh, really?
You're gonna have an
Good to see you.
How you doing, Craig?
How you doing?
Good. How you been?
All right.
I haven't seen you since the Phillies game.
That's right.
That's right. I was at the Phillies game, and the thing is, I saw him at the game, but I didn't see him after that. And then we stopped at the rest stop, and I'm walking in. There he is. It's the third fight.
Twice I went to Penn State basketball games, and both times I ran into
Yeah,
him.
yeah. I saw. I introduced myself to
You guys see
he was at.
Yeah, Terry McGovern is here.
Joe was supposed to.
Yeah, he doesn't know if Joe's coming. He's in Myrtle Beach.
And John said, "Yeah, choice between Myrtle Beach and here." I think you're going golf.
Yeah. Can't say that.
I was hoping Dunny would make it, but man, I don't know the one I heard. Is Erdman gonna? Did you talk?
And then we practiced with the curtain closed and turned up the heat and hid the pole so they couldn't open the windows. Gordy says, "Where's the pole? Where's the pole?" They couldn't find the pole. We put the officials down in Ray Donnelly's office, and he locked the door, and Gordy couldn't get to him to tell him what was going on. That's how you guys upset him over there. So, all those wins in a row. John remembered doing that. But he could remember another story that I didn't remember about. Banging the two guys up there at the...
I was telling him, maybe you don't remember. Maybe you think those guys didn't even hear it. He said to Grubby and I, when we were playing with Wiccanisco, he said, now when Long comes down the key, you know he always wants to go inside. One of you level. No, I didn't. Okay, so he comes down the key. Grubby leveled him and I leveled him. We got a double foul called. Okay, and it was the only time in his high school's career he scored less than 10 points. He wouldn't come in. He'd take a couple dribbles and he'd look in and he'd pull back out.
Remember the halftime with the chair
Alan.
too up at
Yeah,
Wiccanisco.
and the halftime with the chair at Wiccanisco when he got out of control. When we were playing, do you remember that when you came in and slammed that hell? I was afraid to be in there. I was thinking about walking home.
He was talking about me grabbing a hold of guy's shirts and saying, "Get over here." And I didn't even think, I didn't think it was nothing personal. I didn't think about it in those terms. You know, it's,
Where was the game? We really reeked in the first half. It might have even been a JV game. We went in the locker room at halftime.
I know, that was...
Bam! The door comes open. When you guys are ready to play basketball, I'll be out on the court.
That's
Right back out he went.
I was over at Mockaway Joint. He left.
I left.
Yeah, he did. He walked
Yeah, he
out.
told me, he said, I don't jump high enough for mosquitoes to run on him.
I forgot about
They
that.
tell me the one up when I was coaching up at Chick, we're going and we're getting beaten. The assistant coach is there, and Bob Sable says, "Coach, you better take a timeout." I said, "Man, hell, we got to work our way out of it." See to me and says, "Coach, you got to take a timeout." I said, so Bob calls timeout, and he came over, and he says, "Okay, coach, timeout." I said, "You called the timeout, you coach." Another game we're playing, that's where it's up in Bloom, we came down to play in Sunbury then, and I told the guys, we're going for the last shot, it's tie game. We got the ball, last shot. He took the shot, froze the clock right out. Let a piece of chalk and I went down the court, smashed in 100 pieces. And the local doctor, Doc Dietrich, was there, and he says, "Nice call, coach." He was giving it to me, you know. Oh my God.
Remember those guys you used to bring down to scrimmages on Saturday morning?
Oh, John came over one, or somebody, coach, you smell those guys. You remember, because they'd been out all night the night
The
before.
boys used to toss a few back before they came in.
Yes, they did.
One guy said, he said, the Grubby, he plays like a wrecked train.
Yeah. Then they used to say, "Jesus Christ."
See. welcome. Just about ready for the festivities to begin here now as we welcome back the the varsity of the old timers here, and some of them not so old and some a little older than that. But anyway, they'll be coming down here and coming out here, meeting at midcourt, and then we'll see what happens.
A night to remember championship celebration. Tonight, the Roundball Club asks you to join us as we turn back the clock and take a look back and remember the championship teams from Lycans, UD Joint, and UDA, whose season ended with a 5. Next year, we plan to honor the championship teams that end with a 6, and so on until all teams are honored over a 10-year period of time. The Gratz Wildcats, Berrysburg Mountain Lions, and Eville Bulldogs had basketball teams, but they never won any championships, so we simply are taking a look at teams from Lycans, UD Joint, which was made up of Elizabethville, Berrysburg, Gratz, and Pillow, and when Lycans merged with UD Joint in 1966, and 2 became 1, as we like to say, the emergence of UDA School District. We mean no disrespect to Gratz, Eville, Berrysburg, and Pillow. This year, we remember the Lycans championship teams of 1935, 1945, 1955, 1965, and the UDA champions of 1975. So without further ado, let's take a look back first at the 1935 champions. It's 1935. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt signs the Social Security Act into law. Persia is renamed Iran. The construction of the Hoover Dam is complete, and President FDR dedicates it. Parker Brothers releases the game Monopoly, and Babe Ruth hits the last of his 714 home runs. Back in Lycans, the boys basketball team wins the first of its 18 Upper Dauphin League championships. With an overall record of 14-11, it came down to a best-of-3 playoff with Williamstown to determine the league champion. Lycans won the first game 23-19. Williamstown returned the favor 33-25, and in the bully match, Lycans prevailed 28-26. Leading scorers that year were the Smith brothers, Andrew and George. George later became the head coach of Lycans, as well as Robert Mitchell and George Evans. Home games were played at the Westboro Park on the old dance floor. Chicken wire covered the out-of-bounds around the basket. The low rafters made shooting long shots almost impossible, so they had to work the ball under the basket to score. Unprotected pot-bellied stoves in each corner made heat, but were also a risk to the players. Jump balls in the center of the court were done after every made basket. This was the era of two-handed shots being used, as one-handed shots were not encouraged by the coach. The team was coached by John Cupp. Representing the team tonight is one of only 2 living members of this team who are celebrating their 70th anniversary of this championship. Ladies and gentlemen, please honor John Raz Rusbatch of Lycans. Now it's 1945. World War II is coming to an end. FDR dies in office and is replaced by Harry Truman. Adolf Hitler commits suicide in his bunker. The U.S. drops 2 atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and World War II comes to an end. Back in Lycans, the boys basketball team wins their 9th Upper Dauphin League championship in the last 11 years. With an overall record of 18-5, the team went 16-0 in league play to win the title undefeated. The closest games that year were against Williamstown. Leading scorers were Jack Boney Rao, Dean Myers, Bob Pep Messner, Bob Pell, and Bob Morgan. The team was coached by Mark Unger. By this season, the WPA project to build the Lycans Gymnasium was completed, and all home games were now being played at the Lycans Gym on North 2nd Street. Representing the team tonight are 3 of the 6 living members of this team who are celebrating their 60th anniversary of this championship. Ladies and gentlemen, first, Dean Myers of Lycans. Our second team member able to make it tonight, Bob Pep Messner of Lycans. The third member was unable to make it for tonight. At this time, water 1955. In 1955, the Scrabble board game debuts. Disneyland opens in Anaheim, California. The first edition of the Guinness Book of World Records is published. And 3 TV shows debuted: The Honeymooners, The Lawrence Welk Show, and The Mickey Mouse Club. Back in Lycans, the boys basketball team won their 11th Upper Dauphin League championship. With an overall record of 21-4, the team won the league with an undefeated record of 16-0. One big game that year was against Halifax, as this was the first time a Lycans team scored 100 points in a game. Mahanoy Joint offered stiff competition and finished second in the league. Leading scorers were Terry McGovern, Eugene Hun Gentili, Jay Smink, Clarence Huffman, Jack Reed, John Daniels, and Jack Pinkerton. The team was coached by George Smith and assisted by Gordy Foster. Representing the team tonight are 5 members of the team who are celebrating their 50th anniversary of their championship. Ladies and gentlemen, Terry McGovern of Lancaster. Next up, we have Eugene Hun Gentili of Satellite Beach, Florida. Next, we have Jay Smink of Easley, South Carolina. Next, we have Jack Pinkerton of Harrisburg. And finally, Terry Pinkerton. It's 1965. In the movie theaters, The Sound of Music, Dr. Zhivago, and The Greatest Story Ever Told are showing. The first U.S. combat troops are sent to South Vietnam. The Watts riots begin in Los Angeles. The Gateway Arch is completed in St. Louis. Disney launches Epcot Center, and Medicaid is founded in the U.S. Back at Lycans, the school was playing boys basketball for the last time, as next year they will merge with UD Joint to form Upper Dauphin area. With the town about to lose its identity, the boys basketball team puts together a Hoosiers-type season, the most well-known season in its history. The team went 20-5 overall and ended the season in a 3-way tie with Millersburg and UD Joint, all with 14-2 league records. On 2 great nights of outstanding basketball, Lycans beat UD Joint 67-64 and Millersburg 54-52 to win the league championship to move on to the district finals. The team won the district championship and the Eastern PA championship before losing to Conneaut Lake in the state championship game 66-54. Leading scorers that year were Don Grubb, John Coles, Raymond Troutman, Alan Bowman, Greg Erdman, and Larry Saladay. The team was coached by Ron Wetzel. Representing the team tonight are Representing the team tonight are 7 members of the team who are celebrating their 40th anniversary of their championship. Ladies and gentlemen, John Coles of Wiccanisco. Raymond Troutman of Elizabethville. Alan Bowman of New Cumberland. John Dressel of Wiccanisco. Ted Wegner of Carsonville. Raymond Williard of Millersburg.
Hold on.
Raymond was unable to make it. And head coach Ron Wetzel of Sunbury. It's 1975. The Vietnam War ends. Sentences are handed out in the Watergate scandal. Construction of the Alaskan pipeline begins. Jimmy Hoffa is reported missing. Production begins on Star Wars. In the theaters are Jaws and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. On TV, The Jeffersons and Wheel of Fortune premiere. Saturday Night Live is broadcast for the first time with George Carlin as guest host. Back at UDA High School, the boys basketball team has won the league championship for the 7th time since the merger with UD joined. They won the Upper Dauphin League 5 times, and this was the 2nd league championship of the newly formed Mid-State League. The team was 15-2 in the Eastern Division and played the Western Division champions West Snyder for the overall league title. UDA beat West Snyder 59-55 to bring the banner back to UDA after a 2-year absence due to Millersburg winning in both 1973 and 74. Leading scorers that year were Jim Buggy, Brian Stroud, Ken Diddy, Todd Giddings, and Dennis Rudisil. The team was coached by Gordy Foster and assisted by Tom Haynes. Representing the team tonight are 6 members of the team who are celebrating the 30th anniversary of their championship. They are Lynn Dockey of Millersburg, Rick Gunderman of Elizabethville, UD's current assistant coach. Ken Diddy of Elizabethville. Dennis Rudisil of Harrisburg. Straub of Hummelstown. And head coach Gordon Foster. Helping coach Gordon Foster is assistant coach at the time, Tom Hain of Elizabethville. The UDA Roundball Club would like to an all-for-one and one-for-all attitude can accomplish. The Roundball Club would like to invite everyone to the high school cafeteria following the varsity game to socialize with the champions Bean School cafeteria. The Roundball Club would like to sincerely thank Jerry Pinkerton for compiling all the history and statistics for Lycans High School and the Lycans Legion for loaning us the trophies that you see out on the floor tonight. Also, a sincere thank you to Tom Hain for retyping Mr. Pinkerton's statistics and for compiling all the history and statistics for UDA boys basketball. Mr. Hain's work is found in the handout that you received at the door. Thank you to Assistant Coach Andrew Diddy for coming up with this idea of a night to remember. And thank you to Head Coach Mike Calnon for all his hard work in making this idea a reality. Thank you to the Williams Valley coaches, players, and fans for affording us the time to conduct our first annual Night to Remember. There have been 37 championships won in our storied history that we will be remembering over a 10-year span. Next year, we will be honoring the Lycans champions of 1956, as well as the UDA champions of both 1966 and 1986. One final note, enjoy the special pregame music the boys will be warming up to, one song each from 1935, 45, 55, 65, and 75. Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for our alumni who are here tonight, and enjoy the game.
Okay, Dale, I think this was one heck of a nice night down here. They really did a lot of work to put it together. I think Mike and his crew did a wonderful job, and I hope them all the success in the world for it. That's all I have to say, Dale.
What do you have to say? Hey, just glad to make it this long. You know that. That's about all I have to say.
What am I supposed to say?
Anything.
Hey, glad to be here. Thanks for having us. Great time.
Yeah, it's just real nice to be honored in this way, and it was really nice to see some of the old teammates. And I hope we can get together again and do this. And I just wish all the future basketball players here at Upper Dolphin the best of luck.
Everybody had part of this here tonight. I tell you what, this is very inspiring for us old guys, whatever, and to come out here and help support the young guys, but also for us to remember all the great times that we had as kids growing up, being coached by the old guys here, and I know it's a lot of pride. A lot of pride. It goes back deep in both schools when the merger, and we all had a lot of pride in it. We brought it together after the merger and continued on today. So I just want to thank everybody who was involved with this and getting this started. I'm looking forward to years to come to be watching this during the season.
I'd like to thank Coach Calnon for bringing the tradition alive again. Mike is very instrumental in letting the current players know of the history of the Upper Dauphin area and Lycans High School. and he always has the fans involved, the ex-players involved. He preaches and coaches that basketball is a family affair, and he lives it with his background, and he just keeps honoring everybody. And even though Mike is the head coach, he is thankful for everybody that helped make him. And I just want to thank Mike for helping make this possible. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Hey, Ted, does that have Wicked-Isco in it? See if I had any points that year. No, I didn't even play.
Something about a reservation at the end of
there you go. There you go, right.
But it did have one splinter.
It's one splinter, right. Yeah, right. No, I didn't.
Well, what I'd really like to say is I'd just like to thank Mike Calnon for giving us the opportunity to do this. This was really a wonderful experience to be able to get back and see some of the folks. Like, for example, Coach Wetzel, I haven't seen in 15 years, and I really probably only saw him about one other time in the last 40. So it was a real nice time to reminisce this evening. I hope the guys that come back for the 66 and so on will have as much fun as we did.
You're good.
Okay, I'd just like to compliment the coaching staff and the boosters for a great night. I think this is a great setup, and hopefully they can carry it on for years to come and honor the great teams and players that went through Upper Dauphin and the Lycans joint.
It was a pleasure doing this. It's the kind of thing I enjoy doing, and I'm surprised there was such a nice turnout. Coach Calnon and Andrew Diddy really did a lot of work, and I appreciate it, and I know all the fellows that came back appreciate it as well.
Okay, very good. Thanks, Jerry. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yep.
All right. Okay. Just wanted to thank Mike and Diddy and the whole gang for organizing this night. It's a really great occasion to congratulate and remember all the championships over the past 50 years or 60, 70 years, I guess. And hope you keep doing this. It's a great idea. Looking forward to coming back in about 5 years for 82. And I know my dad has looked forward to this for weeks. He's had a great time tonight. He really appreciates it. Appreciates the camaraderie of the guys and everyone coming up and talking to him. And I know he really has enjoyed the evening and look forward to next year. Thank you.
Say.
Buddy.
Who's Buddy? Who's your grandpa? Yeah. Did you have fun tonight? Did you have fun tonight? Yeah. Do you like the food? Do they have good food? Is the food good? Yeah. How about the basketball court? Is that a good place to run around on?
Good.
Good? Okay, well, what else can you tell us about yourself? How old are you? How old are you?
5. He's 5. 5!
What did you do for your birthday? Okay, now we can't fight over it.
My turn.
Okay, let Max have a turn.
My turn.
Let Max have a turn. Okay, say
Presents.
Presents. Have presents. How about your birthday?
I'm 7.
What do you like about?
6.
What do you like about where you live?
It's fun. It's fun.
Okay. Very good. Bye. Say bye.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Hi, Dale. Hi, it's a pleasure for us to be here tonight. Just sorry the team didn't win, but they did a terrific job. They played well, and so on. They hit out nice, and it's our pleasure to be here, representing the team way back when, 1944. And just sorry that my teammates couldn't be here, but Pet Messenger was here, and it's good to see him again. Of course, we lived together in Lycan, so it's a great experience. We enjoyed it. Okay.
Very good.
Okay, we'd like to welcome all the former athletes played basketball at the Upper Dauphin schools back. This is a fine, outstanding, and long overdue affair. We really appreciate them showing up and turning out for a very nice turnout, and I hope we can do it again. Thanks a lot.
Terry Bowser from the class of 1988 here at Upper Area High School, saying congratulations to all the previous champions from 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, and all those in between from Likens and as well as Upper Dauphin, the joint. Congratulations to all those former champion teams, and good luck in the future to the champions to be.
I think there's Kenny Miller, there's my birthday. That's a good bud, Ron
Yeah, like I said, it he was something else. They were came down. I'm not he was up in the front seat looking where they were going.
Turn it like that.
Here, Al. There you go. This is great. I have.
He's always wanted to go. Here. Yeah, that's true. It does. Which one? This is the Eastern Championship.
Hey, where'd you get that?
That's the 35. That's the 35.
Wait, we gotta get closer. We gotta come in.
Maybe we should stand like to the side, like.
This guy can't. Get full.
All right. Like the bellies. Sound all right?
Let's get a couple.
All right.
One more.
All right. I'm impressed with this one. Hey, that's
Well, see, that was
made the last one.
what would the order?
They didn't do a run.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
That's how I knew I did it.
Yeah, okay, so you want, yeah, okay.
There you go, it is in the book.
It is in the book. Yeah. I thought you were, I wasn't sure.
Wow.
Well, what we would
I
do
would
is get
love to
together
have a
this year.
copy.
That would be really
Like, you know, the likeness we
Yeah, we should go.
We all go.
Yeah.
Well,
We can eat.
2 years ago, and I didn't go. I talked to her on the phone. She said they wanted to try to get as many people there as they could for the 40.
Well, that's what
Which
John
would be this summer. That's what you're talking about.
She's coming in. I know she's coming in. I talked to her mother already.
Is it in June? When is it in June?
Second
You know?
Saturday.
Well,
Second Saturday. Yeah, so that would be neat to go.
did you talk to Don?
Did you get a thing in the mail?
Yeah, I just didn't send it back.
I didn't either.
You know, see how things are.
Well, maybe we can plan something for that day, too.
Well, that
Get
would be,
together.
yeah, if we could. Yeah.
It's
Maybe
June,
go
it's
down to
warm.
like Kevin's and have lunch before the thing, like in that little room in the back.
Kevin still, yeah, because I've gone to Kevin's with Mary.
Yeah, he has a room we could
Yeah, here's a
reserve
room
in
in
the
the
back.
back.
Oh, that's too
Yeah,
small.
it would be big enough for
And then
all
we
of
could
us.
do that, and then you could go back to the dinner in the evening.
Yeah.
And you'd see everybody.
Yeah, lunch or breakfast.
Yeah. Anytime you can eat, that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's always.
Oh, there they are.
That's it. Call me whatever you want, but don't call me late for
He's
dinner.
in Georgia.
Bobby's in Georgia.
Well, he was back here for a while.
He was back for a while.
Yeah, he lived here.
Yeah,
for
because I tell you where I ran into. You know that stop and go right there at Oil? I go in there and I want to get a coffee on the way home, and I hear this guy. Couldn't he?
Yeah, he could.
He could really damn well. Like, oh, how did he do
I don't know how
that?
he ever did.
Yeah, you remember that?
He was something.
He was a bird. And because he was homeschooling these kids.
Yeah, there he was. And then they moved back to Georgia.
Yeah.
I used to talk to him a good bit when he was living there.
Because I think he lived down here by the church factory.
Yeah, he did, right there. He lived in Cindy Donovan's old
Okay,
house.
right in the alley.
Well, remember what we ought to do in that day is everybody get out of school and run along the old railroad. First, that's exactly how we make it. Some of these guys, that's over here.
Thought this was a great night tonight. It was a real treat for me to see everybody out here from teams from 1935, 45, 55, 65, and then the Upper Dauphin team in 75. I had a great time walking around the room here, talking to everybody, in particular, lone team member from 1935. It was outstanding. Just real memories for me. I was actually making memories for me. I was never from this area. I'm a Perry County boy, as you know, from Marysville, went to Susquehanna and all that. But ever since I've come up here, Upper Dauphin's one of the schools that really takes a lot of pride in its history and its sporting history, and it's a very proud sporting history, and it's been a real treat for me ever since I've been here, since October of 2001, a chance to watch some of these famous players and teams be honored tonight. Of course, honoring all those teams, seeing Coach Foster, just hearing all the different stories and all that. I'm honored to take part here on a personal note. It's a real privilege for me to report on these events in the Sentinel and do work for Love 99. It's just really been a treat, and God bless everyone. And Mike did a great job setting this up. You're a first-class guy, and I know how hard you worked to put this together, and God bless you guys. Good luck, and onward and upward.
Okay,
You could even talk into the camera, and I'll
Yeah,
ask you
we
the
can do
questions
that.
if you don't mind.
Sure,
that.
okay.
Talk about your general impressions
Oh, it
tonight.
was
What's it like
great.
to come back?
Oh, it was great. I'm telling you, the enthusiasm. It was just great to see old friends here too. And I know there was an awful lot of hard work went into this, and those people need to be thanked for their endeavor. But to make this a success, and the nice thing, if I may, I was talking with somebody from the other side at the game tonight, and they were saying how nice this was, and it made me feel especially good. To hear that.
Especially when that gets recognized by
right.
the opposition.
And
That's-
to hear that from the other side saying, wow, what a night. And it was just that. It was one good night.
And which team did you play on?
I played on the 55, with Terry McGovern and myself.
Okay.
Jay Schmink was one of the guards, and he was here tonight. It was nice to see him. And his wife, she was nice. She came too.
Okay.
So it was just a great evening. And my brother was here. That was, I asked him, I said, "You bring a camera?" And he says, "No, I didn't bring one." I said, "You mean you lost this piece of history?" I said, my one time. And he didn't bring the camera.
Well, we got it on camera right here. So
Oh,
that's
yeah,
good.
there you go. Yeah,
That's all preserved forever.
Yeah, thank you.
What are some of your fondest memories of that team?
Well, there was a couple of them. One of them was we had the 100-point that was mentioned in history. I guess that still stands in one game. And the other one was when we were playing Elizabethville at that time. Their team were instructed to not to come out after the guards, and our guards were instructed not to shoot the ball. And it was one of the lowest scoring games, I think, of the history here. It was like 25 to 15, but for a whole half, the guards had just passed the ball back and forth. And finally, Elizabethville said, "Hey, Likens wins. Let's go out and get them." So then, but that was amazing that they just weren't going to come out. And our coach says, "Don't you dare." You remember that game? Yeah. We put the freeze on against Elizabethville, but we put it on, I think it was the second quarter. We put it on just a little early, you know.
Oh, there you go.
So that was a highlight.
That's good. That's good.
And one of the highlights tonight with me was Gordy Foster saying, "I know the situation," but he said, my shoulder would come out of joint and I would put it back in and go back in and play, and he was doing that tonight.
Was he?
Yeah, and then he'd shoot. He said, "Yeah, I remember you'd put it back in, and then you'd go back in and play."
Oh my goodness!
So that was a highlight for me to see him.
I bet you that was.
Yeah, he's a great man, and I didn't know that they had dedicated the gym to him.
Yeah.
So that was especially nice.
Do you live in the area?
No, I live in Florida.
You live in Florida?
Yeah,
Whereabouts in Florida?
Satellite Beach, which is right close to Cocoa Beach.
Okay.
And I have a son that I'm down there, and he coaches
good.
Merritt Island High School. He has a wrestling team. He coaches linebackers, and he played football in his college years at West Point.
Okay.
And somebody said he's a second all-time leading tackler up there. I have to check that. I think it's on the computer. One day I'll check it.
Sure. Wow.
And then,
was there any question for you that you were going to be up here, or did you just know right away? As soon as you heard, you knew you'd make it.
I know I was going to make it. I had some other reasons. My son, I have a son that's a pilot in the Air Force. He's a U-2 pilot.
Okay.
And he was on his way to Iraq, and I stopped to see him on the way up here.
Sure.
And I had a niece that graduated from Cedar Crest Nursing School in Allentown, and I said, "If you ever graduate, I'll come to your graduation," and that surprised her.
Yeah.
And then this is the last part of that trip.
Okay.
So I'll be leaving to go back to Florida, but this was definitely the highlight, because this was great.
Sure.
So
very good.
I don't know what else I can say,
Hey,
except I would again like to just say thanks to all the people that made this possible. They deserve a lot of credit.
They sure do. They sure do. Hey, nice talking.
I hope that came out all right. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, this was a great evening. I really appreciate all the players and coaches coming back here and making this a special moment. When we look at the vast amount of success that this community, Upper Dauphin area community, has had over the years, it's astounding. Other communities would be proud just to have half the amount of success that we've had. So for these older guys to come back here and talk to our players the way they did before the game and so forth was just a great tribute to the character that they have, and hopefully their words of wisdom have carried on to our younger guys here, and will make them all UDA proud again in the future here. But the game didn't go like we wanted it to, but the other activities far exceeded expectations, and we had a great night. So thanks again to everybody that participated in this evening's activities.